Critical path analysis. Critical path analysis is used to schedule large and complex projects. This is used to deal with time when people need to complete a certain task within a certain amount of time. Activity networks. Activity networks are diagrams that illustrate more than one activity taking place. Activity networks are useful if you want to calculate how much extra time there is before the activity or event finishes. Here is an example of one. Each event, node, circle, is numbered between 1 and 6. On the network, every node needs 2 boxes near them to mark in the event times. This is calculated by the duration time for each activity. The duration times are shown beside each arrow alongside the letter that represents the activity. Earliest event time, EET. EET on a network is in the first half of each box as shown on the first diagram. For the first activity, the EET is 0. Latest start time, LST. The latest start time, LST, for an event is the latest it can occur without delaying subsequent events. The LST, latest event time, LET, goes in the other side of the box for each network. To calculate the LST for an activity, first moves backwards through the network from the finishing node to the start node. Dummy activities. On any activity network, 2 or more arrows joining one node to another are not allowed. Example. A dummy activity is used. This is when a dotted line with an arrowhead on the end links 2 nodes that do not depend on each other. The dummy activity has 0 duration. Here is an example of a dummy activity. Float. Float is the maximum number of possible delay time that can be incurred in the process of an activity without increasing the critical path length providing there is no delays elsewhere. How to calculate the float? Li duration equals float from 2 nodes. Subtract the earliest event time of the first node from the latest start time of the second node, then subtract the duration time of the activity. Example. For the above network, the float for activity D will be 19. Latest start time, -5, -10, which will equals 4. Slack. Slack is the amount of time a task that can be delayed before it impacts on the starting times of other tasks. The formula to calculate the amount of slack is Li minus Ci equals slack. The earliest event time has to be taken away from the latest start time of the first node. Using the same diagram from working out the float, the slack can be calculated to be 9 Li minus 5 E I equals 4. Critical activities. Critical activities are activities that cannot run late. For an activity to be critical, the float has to be equals to 0. This means that the LST for the second node minus EET of the first node has to equals the duration of the activity. Critical paths. Critical activities are used to find critical paths. On a network, critical paths are groups of critical activities that have to run on time and are usually linked with one another. Please subscribe.